BYU basketball got their first Big 12 conference win and the first win in conference play for new head coach Kevin Young, and it was a dominating win, a 20-point win for BYU. They controlled the second half with ease, thanks in large part to Richie Saunders, his new career high, 30 points.
30 points for Richie. What a stud, as Kevin Young called him, just a stud, and he is. I mean, every time you need a big performance, and he's coming off a concussion.
Right.
He didn't get cleared until Christmas Eve, and he had some stitches and had that lip laceration in the Wyoming game. Basically missed that one, and then he missed the Florida A&M game, and he's back and gets a career high. We should just count on every day game. Richie's getting career highs. He did it against Idaho on November 16th, where he scored 26, and then 30 today. I think it's just noteworthy because it's a little bit of a lens into this team and Kevin Young and the development that's taking place. Richie comes back. Last year he was kind of that role guy, getting downhill, the gritty guy. Now he can be a star, and that was something that I think that was the case to make to him. Coming back to BYU to play for KY was, hey, you can become something far greater than you've ever been, and he's showing that in the opener of Big 12 play.
It can't be overstated, Mitch, how critical his return to BYU was. He fits in perfectly with this team because Kevin Young even noted this postgame, they don't run a lot of stuff for Richie Saunders. A lot of what he gets is in the flow of the offense. It's hustle plays, it's offensive rebound putbacks, driving down the lane, getting layups. To get 30 points on 11 of 18, you go 6 of 11 for 3. And to beat a team, Arizona State, I think they're going to be on the bubble. It's a fringe bubble team. A nice win. But to do it in a game where Yegor Demon looked rusty, and down Hall, they're still trying to figure out how to mix Demon and Hall, and you win by 20, that's impressive, Mitch.
It is. And, Arizona State, when you bring up them, they've got some personnel, a young team. They had a heralded recruiting class. Coynes is huge. I mean, he made Keba Keita at
Kevin
times
Young sung his praises, too.
He is a massive build. He's only 17. He's going to be a 2026 NBA guy. So they've got talent. It's just they're young, and this was a rocking environment, 16,000 plus, New Year's Eve. Like, there's no lull in BYU home games. Cougar fans are ready for this one. They were ready for a big game, and this BYU team fed off that. And I just thought it was a solid performance, and it was a case of just a lot of different guys can show up on any given night for this BYU team. To think Yegor has 5 turnovers and doesn't get his first bucket until the second half around the 18-minute mark or 19-minute mark. That just speaks to this team's ability where it can be so many different guys on any given night that can emerge. Kevin Young still played about 11 guys in this game. Mihailo Boskovic was a notable one that didn't get any run. That could be matchup based. But, I think BYU is just a really intriguing team that's got a lot of potential. Bobby Hurley sung their praises too. He's really impressed with BYU.
Oh yeah, he thought defensively they were great. You noted the play of Saunders. One person worth noting too, and I think we saw a glimpse of it tonight, and we're going to see a lot more of it going forward, is how key Keba Keita is to this team. Nearly a double-double, 10 boards, 9 points. He was a physical presence. BYU out-rebounded ASU by 10. If they're going to be that good on the glass and that physical, they were clearly more physical, I think they've got a chance to surprise some people in conference play.
Well, in Keba, you bring up him. He had a putback down on this end where he's like playing above the rim, and he just made it look so easy. And it was like
the tap in, right?
Yes, what you did was freaky, and it was like above the rim, over the cylinder, and it's like he made that look easy. And that's just, again, how explosive a player he is, and it's just fun to watch because he's not going to be a guy that's shooting 15-footers. Like, he's not going to be a mid-range, 3-point guy. Like, he knows his role. But man, it just, as he continues to settle in, and I think that's also a big takeaway from this game, is that you had your full collection of personnel. We started to get a picture of what this team's going to be because it's been in and out. First it was Dallin, then it was Yegor and Richie, and just
and
a lot
Keita missed a game.
Yes, a lot of guys have been in and out, and they finally had their full collection. That's a pretty good-looking team.
Last thing that was, I think, noteworthy from this one is BYU's defense was outstanding. They limited Arizona State to 21% shooting. They only made 6. They make over 9 a game, so 3 less than that, but 10 second-half turnovers. The perimeter defense is maybe underrated here. There's so much length at times, and we saw that today.
And that the theme of the Providence game continues to kind of ring true for Kevin Young. I mean, that was a real eye-opener, and this was the first tough test since that game where you're going up against a power conference team. BYU passed. The physicality was pointed out by Bobby Hurley, and I thought that was noteworthy because I was really kind of not concerned, but curious to see how BYU's freshmen would fare against the physicality of Big 12 play. They're going to jump into the deep end on Saturday at Houston. I mean, Houston held Oklahoma State, who's probably in the bottom half of the league, 47 points. In Stillwater, though, you know who Houston is. So I'm really excited to see what that game's going to look like on Saturday. BYU had a close call against them last year here in this building. Now they go to the Fertitta Center, first time since 2019. That was Mark Pope's first year. They had that amazing game winner.
Yeah, TJ.
And Mark Durant was celebrating with them. He was cheering them on. I think it's still his profile picture. But I'm excited for that one. Houston's number 14 in the country. So if BYU wants to get back into the national picture for this season, you got your chance coming up on Saturday.
2 games a week, the rest of conference
Let's
play.
go.
And now there's a set schedule, and we'll have it covered all the way. Mitch Harper, Matt Monte. You can find our work on KSLSports.com.